Hello Sumiti, welcome to another beautiful video tutorial. So in this video, I'll be showing us how to make this oversized shirt and trouser. So what I want you to take note of in this video is how many inches I added to my actual measurement to actually get this fit on my body. So you will know if you want yours not as big as mine or you want it bigger, okay? So you can see that the waistline, as you can see on the video by the left side, is an elastic waistline, but it has an adjustable strap. I'm going to be showing us everything, okay? So here I have 4 yards of this linen fabric. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fold it accordingly for me to be able to draft to mark the trousers part. So here I've gone ahead to fold. So now my actual hip measurement is 42, right? But I'm going to be using 48. So if I divide 48 by 4, it will give me 12 inches. Do you understand? So that is that for now. So from this white line, I'm going to measure downwards 8 inches to get my hip height measurement. Then I'll roll a straight line. After that, we're going to get the cross depth, okay? So for us to get the cross depth, I'm going to use my actual hip measurement. So my actual hip measurement is 42. 42 divided by 4 will give me 10.5. 10.5 plus 1 will give me 11.5. So my crush is 11.5 because if you want to get your crush, divide your hip by 4 plus 1 if you're not making a fitted trouser. But if you're making a fitted trouser, divide your hip by just 4. But this is a palazzo trouser. So when you divide your hip by 4 plus 1, gives you the cross depth. So I've ruled the line on where my cross measurement will rest on. So what I went ahead to do again is to get the full length of the trouser. So I'm just going to mark it so that we can go to the next phase of the video. It is very easy and this video is very detailed, okay? So the next thing we are going to do after marking the full length, I'm sorry you were not seeing the full length that I was marking. So now we're going to impute our hip measurement. And remember that the hip measurement I'm using for this trouser is 48. My actual hip measurement is 42, which means I added extra 6 inches to get this volume of trouser. So 48 divided by 4, it is 12 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark 12 inches. On the cross line, on the waistline, I will also mark 12 inches. Do you understand? So I'm using the waist measurement, the hip measurement for both the waist, the hip, and the cross line. I will just roll a straight line. Now we have to get our cross extension. So to get your cross extension, we are going to divide the 12 inches we have on the cross line by 4. So when I divide 12 by 4, it gives me 3 inches. I will extend it and mark 3 inches. That's my cross extension for the front. So I'm going to place my curve ruler. I will make sure that it is falling between the 3 inches I extended with and is being able to blend to this other part. So I will just blend it like so. So after blending it now, I'm going to go to get the new measurements. So you can measure your clients, okay? Measure your clients to get your new measurements. So I will just mark the new measurements. So after marking the new measurements, the next thing I want to do now is to get the whatsoever I have on the cross line, both the cross extension, I will extend it downwards. You know the cross extension is 3 inches plus 12 is 15. So I will mark the 15 downwards like so. Then I will connect a straight line. Can you see what I'm doing? I marked 15 inches on the nail line. I marked 15 inches on the full length of the trouser. So after that now, we are going to get the waist, okay? So you can decide to just make the side straight, but as a lady, right, you need that curve. You don't want it to be just straight. So what I did on the waistline, I minus 1 inch from the measurement I have on the waistline. You know, it is the hip measurement we have on the waistline because it's carrying elastic, right? So I minus 1 inch from the 12 inches on the waistline. Then I connected with my curve ruler from the waistline to the hip line. So after connecting to the hip line, the next thing we are going to do now, we are going to look for how to connect from the hip line to the nail line. Now on the nail line, I'm going to go in by 1 inch. Like I say, I just want a curve on the sides of the trouser. So I marked 1 inch here. Then I try to place my ruler to connect from the hip line to the nail line, and I realized that my ruler was not coming out well. So I went up a little, like 5 inches, and I came in by half inch. So I'm going to connect from the hip line to the half inch I came in with first before I will now connect from that half inch to the nail line, but watch the placement of my ruler at this point. So after connecting it, I shifted the fabric a little bit upwards so you can see the full length of the trouser. So I'm going to come in by 1 inches also at the hem, at the midpoint also, because my ruler is not so long, and I will connect. Now if you check, there is extra line at the hem of the trouser. That's 2 inches for hemming allowance. So whatsoever your full measurement is, add your 2 inches for hemming allowance. So after getting it this way, the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out. If you're a returning subscriber, please don't forget to, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell. So to get the back pattern, I wrote 2 inches. I already folded the fabric and I cut the volume that will be enough for me to draft the back pattern, to cut the back pattern. So I wrote 2 inches away from the upper part of the fabric, and I'm just arranging the front pattern on this fresh fabric. Don't forget that the fabrics are on fold. Okay, so we're cutting 2 pieces for front at the same time, 2 pieces for back at the same time. The first thing you work on is the crochet extension. So after rolling the crochet extension, for the front crochet we extended with 3 inches, so you add half inch to the back, which is 3.5, to extend for the back. Come down by half inch. Do you understand? Let's say your front crochet extension was 2 inches. You add half inch, make it 2.5, come down by half inch. Then on this side, you're going to measure 2 inches from the crotch line and the waistline, and just roll a straight line like so. Then we are going to connect the crochet extension with our curve ruler. From the half inch I came down with from the crochet extension, we are connecting a curve line to blend with these 2 inches that we just marked. Then on the waistline, I'm going to mark 2 inches upwards from the waistline, 2 inches exactly. Then I will make a slant line to the side. So this part that we're working on now is the center back. Okay, so after creating all that part, now these 2 inches have to affect the whole of the trouser. So I will go to the knee and I will mark 2 inches, and I will connect from the crotch to the knee. After that, I'm going to make sure that I extend the 2 inches all the way to the lower part of the trouser, which is the hem of the trouser. So I'm just going to extend the 2 inches and connect. So here is the allowance part, then the hem. After marking the 2 inches, I will connect the line. So because my ruler is not long enough to connect from the hem to the nail, I'm going to go to the middle, mark 2 inches. Then I'll connect from the hem to the middle part like so. Then from that part to the nail. Now placing it this way, you can see that my ruler is not going to give me a nice curve, that straight ruler. So I brought out this curve ruler again. You make sure that it's not so curvy. You see that immediately I place the ruler, it's just fitting to that space. So I just use it to blend it. So after that, we are done with both the front and back pattern. I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So you just watch how I am cutting it so you do not make any mistake. Please subscribe to my channel if you've not subscribed. Please, 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 please. My returning subscriber, thank you. There is no me on YouTube without you. I'm really grateful. And don't forget to drop a review for me. So now we've done both the front and back. We are going to keep the back aside because we have to make a pocket for the front, so I'm going to bring the second pieces of the front. But before we go to the pocket part, we have to work on the center front. Okay, so I'm placing the two pieces together again. So after placing it together, what I'm going to do is to create a slant line at the center front so that the trouser sits well on my body. Okay, so I'm going to measure 3 inches, 3/4 of an inch, 0.75 downwards. Then I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect it from the center front to the side. So you can see me rolling from the side to the center front, just like that. You can see that curve. This curve makes it sit well on you when you put it on. So after doing that, we are going to go ahead and fix the pockets. So to get the pockets done, I have this pieces of fabric that is measuring 10 inches long and 8 inches wide. So what am I going to do? I'm going to flip the fabric this way and I'm going to put my hand to make a curve. Because the pocket is for me. If the pocket is not for you, you can make yours way bigger than your hand so that it is better that it is free, more free for your client to put their hand than it's too small. Do you understand? So I check the opening to make sure that it is not lesser than 6 inches because that's when my hand can fit in. So after making the curve to my satisfaction, I went ahead to cut. If you've been seeing my video, you know I make square pockets a lot, but I decide to change this pocket to a curvy pocket. So after cutting it, following the curve, I have about 4 pieces because you need 2 pieces to make one pocket. There are 4 pieces. Okay, so I'm going to separate. I'm going to remove 2 pieces because we only need 2 pieces for to have the pocket opening. So I went to keep 2 pieces aside. Then I'm going to bring the front pattern. So what am I going to do here? I am going to, like, on the waistline, I'm going to go in by 2 inches. So first of all, I marked 2 inches and I now went ahead to reduce it to 1.5. So I'll go in by 2 inches and I'll come down by 5 inches. That's the opening you need for a moderate hand to fit in. So like I said, I went ahead to reduce it to 1.5 because I'm used to using 2 inches for all my pockets, but I wanted to try 1.5 out to see how it works. And I kid you not, it relaxes very well. It's not opening up, okay? It fits perfect. But if you want your pocket to be big, use 2 inches, please. Okay. So now that I've made the pocket slant, the 2 pieces of pocket I have with me, I'm going to place it under. We made a curve at the waistline. We made a slant curve. I just have to trim it. Then the pieces I trimmed out of this other pocket, I place it on the other 2 pieces to trim out because the curves, they have to affect the 4 pieces. Only this pocket opening will affect only 2 pieces of the pocket. Do you understand? And don't forget, the 2 pieces of the pocket, they are already under this is what I'm pulling out now. So now that we've created the pocket opening, I'm going to flip the trouser to the right side. So I'll flip it to the right side. I'm going to keep one aside so that I can show us how to fix the pocket with just one, okay? So now you are going to pick the pocket, the side with the pocket opening, the pocket piece that has the pocket opening. Place it and put it on the trouser, right side facing right side. Go ahead and sew and come back. After sewing it, we have sewn the pocket part. Then flip it this way. When you flip it this way, go ahead and run a tight stitch. So just go ahead and run a tight stitch and come back to press it down. Then after doing that, this is what we have. Go ahead and flip the pocket to the wrong side of the trouser. So when you flip it to the wrong side of the trouser, this is what you will have, right? So now we're not going to bring the second pieces of the pocket. This is where the second pieces come in. It is really very simple to make. So you place the second pieces of the pocket on it like this. Then you arrange it and make sure that they are equal from the side. You see where I'm arranging, make sure it is equal. Then once you've arranged them equally, go ahead and join the two of them together to that part. I will do that and come back. So here I've gone ahead to join. Can you see what we have? I've gone ahead to join it to that part. This is what we have. The pocket is ready. It's as simple as that. So I'm just going to press this part of the pocket down and come back. So here I've gone ahead to press it. You can see the pocket. You see that the pocket opening is not so big and is not wide. It's just moderate and I love it so much. It's not opening down. So the other one, I've done the same thing for the other one, which means we are done with fixing the pockets. So now let's go ahead and join the trousers together. So when you want to join your trouser, make sure you join the center first. So I'm going to join the center front from the waistline to the crotch extension. Then for the back also, we are going to join from the waistline to the crotch extension together. So I'll go off camera and join these two, both the front and back, and come back. So here, this is the front. I have joined the crotch extension part. When you open it up, this is what you have, right? So I'm going to bring the back also. I will also open it up, and this is what we have. So I'm going to place it right side facing each other, okay? Right side of the front facing the right side of the back. The both front and back crotch, I will open it up and I'll pin it. So you can see how I'm arranging it. When you're joining your trouser, the first side to join is from the crotch. So you join one side of the crotch down to the hem. Then you arrange the other crotch, join it to the hem. Then before you now go ahead and join the two sides, I'll do that and come back. So here I have joined the crotch and I've joined the both sides of the trouser. The next step is to fix the pockets. Then go ahead and measure the waistline of the trouser. You know, if you're making a trouser where you are attaching a strap to the waistline, you will make sure that the waistline is way bigger than your usual waistline, like about 10 inches or more, depend on how big you want the trouser, because any measurement you use for the waistline is the same measurement you will use for the hip line. Do you understand? So after measuring the waistline round, I have this long strap I have already cut out. I've already ironed it. I folded it and ironed it. So I will go ahead and measure the waistline that we've measured on the trouser. I will check it here and see what's left. So after checking it, any excess that is left, I'm going to trim it out. So after trimming it out, I'm going to spread the band open. Now when I spread the band open, it's measuring 5 inches wide. I'm going to place it on each other like so. I'll go ahead and stitch. You're placing it right side facing right side. I'll go to the machine and sew it and come back. So after sewing it, this is what we have. You're just going to arrange it, fold it into two equal parts like this. Then go ahead and measure the midpoint. Like I said, the band is measuring 5 inches, but it is folded into two, so it's giving 2.5 because my elastic is measuring 2 inches. So after getting the midpoint of the band, right, I'm going to measure 1.5 inches upwards from the lower part of the band, and I will mark it. Then I'm going to go to the left by 1 inches, to the right by 1 inches. The distance from the top of the band to the midpoint is 1 inch. Then the distance from that midpoint to the lower part of the band, the opening of the band, is 1.5. Do you understand? Because if I use half inch to sew away from it, it will now go to 1 inch, 1 inch, which is 2 inches. Like I said, my elastic is measuring 2 inches. So before we go to the elastic, I have this long strap, okay? I'm going to fold it both sides like so. I'll go ahead and run a straight stitch. I'm just creating a long strap. Now this strap is about 10 inches longer than the waist measurements, that the band is about 10 inches longer than the main band we are working on the table, because it has to be longer than the band so that when you put it, no matter what, it's not going to pull out. Do you understand? So this is my elastic. How did I get the exact elastic measurement? I minus 10 inches from my usual waistline measurement to get the elastic. So we're going to join the elastic together. Before that, I have to burn the edge of the elastic with my lighter so that it does not fray. Okay, so After that, the next thing I'm going to do is to join the elastic together. I'll be showing us how I will be doing it to get a very flat surface. So after joining it together like this, the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to flatten it out. I will separate it at the middle like so, and I'm going to sew. I'm going to sew the both edge on both side. So I'm just going to run a tight stitch across it to the other side to flatten it, okay? Because I don't want any part of it fat, okay? So I will just flatten it off before we'll place it to the main band itself. So, like I said, the width of the band is 5 inches. When you fold it into two, it's 2.5. So when you use half inch to join, it will remain 2 inch, which is the 2 inch for the band. Do you understand? So now that we've joined the band together, we are going to put the band, well, now that we've joined the elastic, we are going to put the elastic inside the band. So, but we're going to start from the middle. You see this part that I marked with chalk, half inch to the left, half inch to the right. That's where we are going to punch hole to pass our strap. Hope you understand. So I'll place it at the middle like so, and I'll pin it down. So another thing I'm going to do to help me, I'm going to mark both edge of the elastic. Both edge of the elastic. I will mark both edge of the band itself so that each edge will come to the edge of the band, okay? So that I will know that I'm not dragging one side of the elastic more than the other, like I've distributed the elastic evenly on the band because the elastic is smaller. And while we're sewing it, I'm going to be dragging it, like I'll be dragging it so much. So the first thing I did here, I wasn't dragging here, I just made a tight stitch. But you're just going to sew very close to the edge of the band, not even up to 0.25 of an inch, like very tiny, just to hold the band, just to hold the elastic and the band together at the top. Okay, so you can see me, I'm marking the edge of the fabric so that I will know that this end of this fabric is meeting with this end of the elastic, so that everything will be spread equally. So as I'm arranging the band inside, I am dragging it. Okay, you can see me here, I'm dragging it. Then you arrange the band inside, you're dragging it so much. It depends on how stretchy your elastic is, you drag. And when you're cutting your elastic, you know, I said I minus 10 inches from my usual waistline. This elastic is very stretchy. If your elastic is not so stretchy, you can minus 6 inches or 7, not up to 10 if yours is not very stretchy. Well, mine was very stretchy, so I minus 10 inches from my normal waistline, not this one, not the waistline of this trouser. So as you're sewing it, you're dragging it. As you're sewing it, you're dragging it. As you're sewing it, you're dragging it, just like that, until you finish with that first line. We are running about 4 lines on this, up 3 lines on this trouser. We're running about 3 lines. So when you get to where you started, you started your stitch, you tighten it. So after running this first stitch around the elastic and the band, the rest is a little bit easier. So the next thing we are going to do now, we are going to run our second stitch. Don't forget that we pinned the midpoint of the band before we started, so it's serving as a guide. So from that point that we pinned earlier, we are going to start running from there again. But at the edge, you know, we've run the other edge of the band, you want to run the lower edge of the band. Do you understand? So you tighten it, you drag it, and sew. As you're dragging it, you're sewing. As you're dragging it now, because you've sewn the upper part, this lower part is way easier to sew. So as you're dragging it, you stretch, drag it, and sew, just like that. So by the time I finish running the second stitch, we'll also go to the third stitch. So at this point, if you're still watching, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share so that others can see the video. If you are a returning subscriber, I'm really grateful to you. Thank you very much. Please leave a review for me in the comment section. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share. So you can see how I am just sewing it continuously. By the time I get to the place to tighten it, I am just going to tighten it and bring it out for us to see. So here I've gone ahead to do that. The fabric was fraying a lot. I'm using this cotton, no, linen fabric, okay? It was fraying, so I was just trimming the threads that were pushing out. So we are going to run the third stitch. Now, the third stitch is in between the first stitch and the second stitch, in between. So which means that it is going to be 1 inch apart. This third stitch is going to separate it 1 inch apart. You know, the width of the band is 2 inches. So this third stitch is in between the 2 inches, in between the first stitch at both edge of the elastic. Do you understand? So I'm just going to run the third stitch around it. So after that, this is what we have. You can see how nice it is. So here on the table, you know, we chalked the middle part where we are going to pass our strap. I'm going to open that hole up with my soldering iron. So I've already plugged the soldering iron for a long time and it's already very hot. So I'm just going to use it to open up the hole where we'll be passing the strap through. Now you'll be asking where I am putting the hole. I am putting the hole on the first 1 inch at the higher part of the band. Okay, I didn't go lower. You can see where the hole is. It is in between. Okay, in between, like when you divide the 2 inches into two, it is in between. The hole I created is in between. From the beginning, when you saw it on my waist, you can see where the hole was. I didn't take it down, I didn't take it up, it's just in between. Okay, so now I'm going to pass the strap through the waistline of the band with my safety pin. So now here is the thing. You can decide to create the hole before you attach your elastic to your band. But I felt like if I should create the hole before attaching the elastic, because of the way I will be dragging it, I don't know what will happen because this fabric, it frays a lot and I do really want to take chances. That's why I decided to create the hole after the elastic. Do you understand? So now I have passed the strap round it and I'm just dragging both end of the strap to make sure that it is equal. So after that, this is what we have. I'm also going to show us how to join it to your trouser. You can see how beautiful the elastic waistline turned out to be, right? It actually came out really well. So this is the waistline. Now, we are going to start the joining from the middle of the trouser also, which is where the strap is. You know that the strap is in between the midpoint of the waist. So that's where we'll start the joining from. But I'm going to flip it. You can see how the strap is, right? So I'm going to flip it this way, okay? You can see I'm putting the strap inside, flip it that way, pin the band to the waistline of the trouser, and I'll take us to the sewing machine so we can join it together. So here, don't forget that we already pinned it, okay? So our own is just to sew. Now, the same way we're dragging the waistline when we're sewing the elastic inside, it is the same way we are going to be dragging the waistline as we are joining the band to the trouser, because you know that the elastic has made the band way smaller than the waistline of the trouser, so you are going to drag it. And when you're joining, make sure that you're not joining with more than half an inch, because that's the only allowance you have left off the band. Do you understand? So you don't join with more than half an inch. If it's one extra 1 inch you have as joining allowance, use the 1 inch. Don't join with more, don't join with less, because if you join your waistline and you still have extra inches before the band, it will not come out well. So like this, we are done. So this is the elastic waistline and the adjustable strap on my body. So we are going to stop here and continue part 2 with the shirt because the video is already too long. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.